Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death.
Hello.
Okay.
So, in order to mine mithril, gotta forge some mithril.
Mm-hmm.
Concerned about the Grell, we want to outfit our dwarven guards with mithril halberds, just in case. So, let's make 4 of them to get 4 guards with mithril halberds before we go and have another look at those mines.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and I think instead of attempting better better quality, we're just going to go with the best that I've made.
Right. So how many guards do you think you need to make weapons for?
I was thinking 4 halberdiers before we go to the mine, and then finish 12 later or something like that.
Because halberds are reach 2 weapons, and those mines are fairly narrow, so 4 would give you 2 in front and 2 in back, which would give you as many halberd attacks as you could possibly need.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Zweihard will be working on these. Meanwhile, Dunhilda, I have need of we need hafts for these halberds. Perhaps you can work on procuring a suitable wood. Are metal halberd hafts a thing? Does that make sense?
Do like you could make them out of metal. Hollow metal tubes, I think, are difficult to forge.
Yeah.
In older techniques, I think you'd have to like roll out a sheet and then like roll it over on itself, maybe.
Yeah.
Or cast it around a sand mold or something.
Yeah. Which cast is going to be pretty weak, but anyways.
She will get to work making these halves. Mm-hmm. She can find gear. She'll find weapons, or not weapons. What do you call it? Woods that could be useful. Look around, maybe find something of interest. Dunhilda is also a cleric, if I'm not mistaken.
She is, I believe. I think she was my cleric. She's a cleric of Sailor. I think she's my apprentice. I think she's just like a level 1 cleric with, or like, yeah. Right?
And Wiz, Chris. I've got stats for her, but I don't know if they're in order or not. If they're in order, she's got 7 wisdom. There's probably unordered stats.
Maybe she's not a cleric.
Maybe she's not a cleric. Maybe she's just a blacksmith.
What's her int?
Strength, Dex, Con. Int is 12. Strength is 14.
Yeah, maybe she's just a blacksmith. Are those her highest stats?
Yeah. She's also got 12 perception.
Maybe she's not a cleric. Yes and Tenno. Halberds are slashing / piercing, so I think you can either stab or slash with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like an axe and a spearhead together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will be 16 days to make these halberds.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll round it to an even 20, because what I would like to do is make the halberds and then make the hafts and then wrap each of the shafts with blessed leather.
Okay. And you'll enchant these with Hellish Halberd?
Yes. So during the crafting, they will be enchanted with Hellish Halberd.
Lovely.
Where's my spell list? So is there anything we need to... I don't think we need to roll anything if I'm just making it by basic quality.
No, we can just skip 20-something days, 20 days, and be there.
And then Zweihard's grips requires blessed leather, which I can make. The leather must be harvested by the cleric and be of superior quality, and must be integrated into the weapon's handle somehow. Into the weapon somehow, i.e. wrapped around the handle. Okay. So that's why I had that crocodile skin. I slew the crocodile in the which river? Probably the Hemderkos River. Skinned it, and I prepare blessed leather from its hide and wrap the halberd handles with the crocodile skin.
Okay,
Giving them
well,
the benefits of a blessed spell for 5 weeks.
you must probably still have some leftover hide from that.
I have it on my character sheet. I do not have a weight listed. It was loaded onto a goat. I think it's some indiscriminate amount.
But a crocodile is going to give you a lot of scales, right? And halves are not that thick, so I think for the time being, you can make your 4 with that.
Yeah, so like 4 mithril halberds. They're actually less than 4.5 pounds, I think, if they're mithril, but that's not a super big concern. Does our scouting party reveal anything of note here?
In the mines?
Yeah. So we send a scout in those
Right,
20 days. We sent a scouting party to make sure that there's not Grell coming out or no one else has stolen our mines.
Right. Let's quick roll here. No, everything is as it was when you left. There have been no changes for the positive or for the negative.
Cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. You make the 4 halberds. You wrap the halves in crocodile skin. Suitable woods are found. And soon your small contingent is deployed, you and your brother included, along with 4 of his best warriors, to go inspect this mine. And a couple other guards, just in case something goes wrong. And some goats hauling supplies. It's a big, noisy dwarven procession all the way.
Yeah, so Einhard does not have a mithril halberd unless he wants one of those 4. Or if he wants mine.
You made him a different weapon, though.
He has an steel axe.
Oh.
Which you actually took notes on. It's pretty good. 30, 25, 32, 30.
So this bogwood axe you didn't give to him.
The bogwood axe is mine. He has one that I built before that is comparable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect, then.
And I think his was specially made, right? Was that the one with like the moon in the handle? Or the moon in the blade? It might have had a mithril, might have been implanted with mithril. There just wasn't enough to make a full-on mithril weapon. So there was like a mithril inlay moon or something.
Right, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah, I think we even had a picture of it, or maybe I just made a picture of it. But yeah, it was I think my first best axe, an axe fit for a thane.
Wonderful.
Right. So the 7 of us is 4 halberdiers, Zweihard, Einhard.
7 of you plus a few extra guards on the side.
Okay. And a couple goats and a cart.
Bunch of goats. Yep.
So the scouts said there's no activity at the mine.
Yep.
It's fine, everything's fine.
Yep.
All right, so it's been 40 days since the start of, or whatever. Yeah, since the start of the session.
Right. And you guys get to the mine, and it is as you saw before, sort of abandoned and empty and creepy. And with your retinue, you can dig out to the point where you can get to the mithril and get to work pounding away on it, chipping at it, mining at it.
Oh yeah, we brought a contingent of miners.
Right. Let's see about these Grell. No, there are still no Grell in the area. Yeah. You can clear out whatever cave-ins have happened and reach that precious silvery metal in there. That slight blue tint to it.
Okay. I don't know if you had in your mind for any cave exploration or Grell adventures, but I'm content to just set up a little base of operations here and mine mithril.
I think that's what is done. I think you guys will probably pass quite a bit of time getting at this mithril. Your miners are extremely eager. This is what they were born for, right? They dig out metals, they purify them, and then this is the greatest haul ever. this is the metal that they've always wanted to be able to find and has never really been around and has been kind of a pipe dream. But here it is, and they've set to work with vigor and enthusiasm. The morale of your people is despite your recent losses, is at a returned high, at least in this small category here.
Yeah. Are there any unsecured passages in the mines? Are there like side passages that I'm concerned Grells will come through?
Well, the mine, as I recall, went forward for a little ways until it forked.
And then the left fork was a dead end eventually.
Right.
With minimal mithril. I think I got whatever mithril scraps there were, and then it kind of dead ended.
Yeah.
And then straight ahead, and then I recall like a creepily, like a sheer, really tall vertical opening in the mine shaft. Do you remember this? That was like cut perfectly smooth.
Hold on. Here's the Zweihard map that has all of our Zweihard notes on it. I forgot that I had this. So
there's the axe as described. I think maybe it was a single piece of, might be solid steel or something like that, with that mithril inlay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
That's the mine camp, I believe, right? This thing here.
Yep, that's the mine camp with the river running nearby, or the old creek bed.
Yeah.
I guess there's not actually the mine anywhere.
No.
I thought it was here. I think the mine is on some scrap of paper that I have lost.
Okay. Well, what I was thinking is I now have access to or maybe I did before. I have this stone shape spell. So I can seal off any doors or any passages with a stone door. Or it's just like a stone wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that never was an official mine map. And I also have continual light, so I'm going to make some continual light stones. Dwarves, even with improvision, they don't work in the dark, right?
Yeah, they need a little bit of light, just a little bit to make it all work. Mm-hmm. The great dwarven mines and caves have this like gentle bioluminescent moss that they grow in various places, or in uncommon situations, they might use a type of glowing fungi. And that'll produce just enough light for the dwarves to see very clearly by, and not enough for anyone else to really see more than a few inches. And maybe they can spot the mold on the walls, but that's about it. So with a light stone, you guys will be perfectly fine down here.
I feel like with Zweihard, he's not just going to pick up a stone and use it. He's probably going to have to craft something, an appropriate vessel. And I think he's going to make it more pleasant for dwarven eyes. So if I'm just using a continual light spell, it'll probably be like a continual light object with like a shade around it, mounted in the walls of the mine. So I think we're gonna burn at least a week setting up the mine. Zweihard's spending these continual light spells.
Okay.
Wrapping in a shade, probably with like a glass cover to it.
Excellent.
Or something more durable. Maybe something more durable. It is a mine after all.
Right, so we've got 4 halberds. Light source. So we had 20 days making the stuff, plus maybe a few of travel.
There was 20 days of wasted research, or whatever. So there's 40 days to make the halberds. 20 days, yeah. Anyways.
And then how you spend like a week setting everything up? Okay. And then it'll take a while to dig out all of this mithril. So while
there's a limited supply of it?
There will be a... so there'll be a quick return on investment with grabbing the things that are easily available, and then a slower return on investment as more like rock has to be cleared out of the way to get to the veins that are deeper in. So I would say maybe How much mithril did you get? Because you got all the really easy stuff right away.
I don't think so. I remember I just grabbed a vein and ran. There was a vein running through the wall. So I was mining under threat of Grell. So I think there's more easy stuff if the Grell had moved on. But that's what I had the originally 11, now down to 8 sheets. Let's see, times 21. Let's see, 11 times 21. I think I got 231 mithril coins worth. I don't know what that is in quantities that are useful for you.
Let's see.
Yeah, I softened the earth and just ripped it out of the wall.
Okay. Pounds going to be times 12 to the third. Let's see. So you're going to be able to pull out maybe another, I would say in the first week, I think you can get another 15, yeah, probably about 15 pounds of mithril in your first week of working in here. It's a nice haul.
Yeah.
Your people are careful to make sure that there are no Grell in here. So every time there's like a little bit of an odd noise, everyone stops their work and like grabs their weapons and scouts out a little bit. And okay, there's no Grell. Let's go back to work. And they'll work through night and day, and they'll smelt the ore out of it. And this small little team works quickly and efficiently.
I believe this town was set up as a mining town, right?
It was,
so
but
I think we
abandoned a long time ago.
Yeah, but I think we restore it and set up a
furnace and a kiln,
yeah,
all those things.
Not a kiln. A kiln is not the word. Is blast furnace or whatever
That's the one.
Dwarves have for smelting the mithril. While the mine is being set up, Zweihard supervises. He has half a mining efficiency, and then I think he sets up these continual light things. Crafting them quickly but sturdily. I think using a durable material makes the light last longer. So I guess like a stone. But he probably takes care to facet them so that they the faces emit light more efficiently. Maybe a cube of stone does better than just a round stone. And then makes little shades for them so that they're dimmer than bright light. And I place these periodically throughout the mine.
So you have gained. How much mithril did you have before you made those? After you made those 4 weapons?
I had already divvied them up into plates that were enough to make halberds.
Okay.
I still have 8 of those 21 mithril piece sheets.
Okay, so you've got 8 times 21 mithril coins. It is.
Yes, I have a few more odds and ends of mithril. I've got 19 random mithril coins from earlier.
And then you have another 18 random mithril coins?
I have 19 mithril coins. I've got 8 mithril sheets. And 15 pounds of mithril.
Okay, and then 15 times 50 is 750 coins. So you've got the equivalent of 937 coins of mithril after the after that first week of mining. Woo! Okay, that is a lot of mithril. And thus far, there have been no problems, no altercations. Your brother has stuck around this entire time to see the operation start to unfold. And as the easier stuff gets and a little harder to get, and people are pushing out deeper into the mine to find a little bit better stuff, your brother Einhard will say, "This is going well. I should probably check in with the rest of our people and make sure that nothing is going amiss while we are here. It seems you have this well under control."
Cue the Grell attack. All right. Yes, so far so good. I can stay here and oversee the mining operation.
Good.
Are there paths or passages that concern me?
Yeah, there are passages that go deep into all of this, and no one really knows what's back there. The threat of Grell has sort of made everyone content to hang out near the front of the mine without getting too deep.
So I think what Zweihard would have done is just sealed off those deeper passages.
Okay.
So using the 3rd level spell, Stone Shape.
Perfect.
Let's see. Stone Shape, it's permanent. I think it just requires soft clay worked roughly into the shape of the stone that you want to make. So while the miners are mining, Zweihard goes to these passages and builds clay doors that seal off the passages and makes them into permanent stone. Let's see, 9 cubic feet plus 1 cubic foot per level. 9 plus 5 is 13 cubic feet.
And if it's going to be like a maybe 5 feet wide, 6 foot tall passage or something.
Yeah.
Then you'll have to do like
5 times.
It'll be like a couple inches thick, and then the next day you make it a couple inches thicker.
That could work too. I think 1 casting would be enough to seal off a 5x6.
Yeah,
right, that's
thinly, but enough.
No, it's 13 cubic feet. So 5x6 is 30 square feet. If that's 5+ inches thick, that's 1 casting of the spell.
I guess 5 inches is a pretty thick wall then of stone. Yeah. Okay.
And I will inscribe in Dwarven runes before. I don't know if I have any spells that actually mechanically do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But there will be Dwarven wards, Dwarven runes carved into this.
Okay.
Efficacious. None of these are permanent, so it doesn't really affect anything to put like a monster ward on it. Or like a protection from evil.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more superstitious than anything.
Good.
But there are, I think it's like Dwarven runes, the equivalent of like protection from evil or monster wards, anti-vermin barriers. And sigil to Seor, a prayer that this door be crafted sturdily and not be broken by our foes. How many side passages were there?
There was that one big one, and as you look down a little bit, it's split again into another set. So you've got the side passage that went, I believe, to the left that dead ends and seems fine, and then the one that went to the right, and that I think you block it off, and some distance beyond is where it forks.
Okay. So I spend, maybe it takes a few days, making it double tall or double thick, or stone barricade.
And then your brother leaves you for a while, for a time.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I found our old map.
Oh.
There was a dry fountain in here.
A dry fountain? Yeah.
Yeah, my map shows this.
Oh, off to the right, there's a fountain. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this route forks, and then this is where the mithril and the grell went.
Mm-hmm. And that weird little thing on the end, I think, was like a eerily straight, tall, narrow passage.
Right, this thing right over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this like unnatural passage that led to where the grell were coming from.
What's off to the left? My impression was that it got impassable. Here? Yeah, that it was like an abandoned mine shaft. Like it went in a ways and then eventually thinned out to the point where it wasn't passable.
I think that's the
case. Or did you intend for there to be more?
No, I think we just I never updated the map once we drew it to here, and you explored down that, and then it closed off, and we didn't deal with it.
I think it more or less ends where you stopped drawing it. It's just like where the path ends. It's just like where they stopped mining.
Yeah, and there are some old tracks in here from when the dwarves of old used to work in it.
Yeah. So I think we seal off the Grell Way.
Okay. The Grell Causeway is closed. Mithril is being mined. Excellent. And then your brother leaves you.
Mm-hmm.
And is that very next night, evening, morning, sometime when you are in prayer with your god, you have a vision of the ground covered in small red scales as far as the eye can see. Sort of undulating. It's not enough to really give you good details, but it's this rising threat of the earth being covered in small red scales. Anyway, that is that first week. I guess second week here. There is perhaps, I guess, that week of setting things up. There's a small forge in the old town.
Mm-hmm.
And as your people are getting to work acquiring mithril, what are you going to be doing?
Once the mine is outfitted with suitably crafted light stones, and I have sealed off the more dangerous passages, maybe we'll see if is this forge like up and running.
Yeah, if you spent a week getting
up and running.
Yeah. If you spent a week getting this up and running, and then it took another week to build things, in that time, whatever additional supplies you needed to get the forge running could have been sent back for. And you've got the might of your brother and the Dwarven Empire, the upcoming Dwarven Kingdom behind you, so they would be happy to supply the forge with what is needed. And it wouldn't be conspicuous at all to send forging equipment to a place where a cleric of Seor is. No one is any wiser of what you're doing here. I think it is maybe time for us to look into that steel skin spell we were talking about.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let us.
So, I don't know that this is so much Zweihard doing spell research as a necessity to integrate Zweihard into typical 2-point Neal AC rules. Because up until now, Zweihard has been using modified, like a beta alpha armor set, where armor did not increase AC. AC was specifically defined by your dexterity, and armor just reduced damage. And I have just a little table that I copied out of my character sheet from you that just listed that, right? So leather and padded reduces bludgeoning by 2, piercing by 1, slashing by 3. Chain is 2, 3, 6. Plate is 4, 6, 8. So something like that. I don't know if we want the spell to just be like this table, or if we want to make it more. So one option might be to make it basically just use this table, and then depending on the level of the priest, you upgrade.
For the sealskin spell?
Yeah, or we could just completely use this as inspiration and come up with a new way to scale it.
Let's see. Go. So, steel skin.
And then there are a couple ways to do it. Either it can be like stone skin, where it's like a 24-hour duration.
Or it can be like
for
the
a certain
armor
number
spell.
Of attacks, or it can be like for a certain number of rounds.
Right.
Or there could be multiple castings. It could even be like an enchantment on an item. That's what I was originally thinking, or what originally inspired the spell, is that it would be something that I would be able to gift to a 2e character, as like a gift from Zweihard's universe. Like here's a breastplate of steel skin, or cast it as a buff. At least making it like I don't know. I mean, so yeah, this was when the Akuban Knights crew was still alive, and I thought there might be the possibility that Zweihard would outfit them with equipment.
That was the dream.
That was the right.
That was the plan.
I was all ready to turn these hellish halberds into a glaive. And, hand it off to Bud and buff them with steel skin and send them on their way.
We were moving in that direction until tragedy struck. I think it's probably going to have to be a spell with a certain duration. And then when you get more powerful, you could perhaps enchant an item to apply it on a person. But that would be like 14th level, 16th level stuff.
Yeah. So a simple way to do it would be to be like, maybe it's pick a number or a number based on level, or just like roll a d8 for this duration, or for this many attacks, or for this much HP, you reduce the damage by that much.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts one way or another? Do you want it to... Should it be random? Should it scale with level?
I think it should scale with level. And then the question is it the duration that scales, or the effectiveness of it that scales? Because it could be like, it'll last for 6 rounds, and the higher level you are, the more effective it is. Or it could be, it's this effective, and it'll last for more rounds depending on your level. One of these properties should scale.
Or both. Or it could be like a stone skin type thing, where it lasts all day, but it only has 10 charges or less, or whatever it is.
Right. That's also a way it could scale. And they're all viable, so which way would you like to do it? Which way would you like to invent this spell?
I think we want it to be 3rd level, so that Zweihard can actually use it. And I think the most effective would be the stone skin approach, where it's like lasts for a certain number of charges.
Okay.
So I think that's how I'd want it to be, rather than it lasts like 1 round per level.
Right. Okay. So a number of charges based on the caster's level, like 2 charges per level of the caster or something? Or it could be like D4 plus 1 per level?
Yeah, I'm going to pull up Stone Skin as a reference, actually.
Okay.
Stone Skin is a 4th level spell, but cleric spells tend to be more powerful, right? In some ways, especially defensive spells. So let's see. Stone Skin is D4 plus 1 attack per 2 levels.
Okay,
that seems like a reasonable starting point. And it's actually not totally I mean, it's less effective than Stone Skin in that it's not totally negating, it's just reducing damage.
Right.
Yeah, it's similar to Necromancer's Spirit Armor, actually. Good call, chat. Who was that? Sewer. Let me see what Spirit Armor was like. That was reduced by 1 point per Necromancer level, and it scaled as a number of hits per Necromancer level, I think.
Yes. Right, I think it started off as like at 4th level, the next 4 attacks are reduced by 4, and at 5th level, the next 5 attacks are reduced by 5. But did we change it? I think there were a lot of updates to the various Necromancer stuff.
I think it was one thing we earmarked as it got OP later in the game. It's 0.7, the latest version. I thought there was a 0.8, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, and you gave up HP to cast it. Number of attacks equal to the caster's level. I think I like making it a I don't know, partner spell to stone skin.
Yeah.
So I think by default I like just doing this stone skin thing. D4 plus 1 per 2 levels.
I think it should just be the cleric version of stone skin, which is also slightly lower in level and maybe slightly weaker in power, since it doesn't reduce damage to 0, it reduces it by an amount.
Yeah, I would like it to not interact with magic spells the same way stone skin does. I think it should only block physical damage, and magic attacks just go straight through it.
Okay.
Right, so like, but it doesn't lose charges when you hit it with a magic missile.
I see what you're saying.
So you've got D4 plus 2 or plus 1 every, plus half level. Reductions of physical damage, and just magical attacks bypass it entirely.
Okay. Excellent.
And then I think material components, probably like a sheet of steel or something like that. A sheet of forged steel.
The big question I have for us is how much damage is it going to reduce?
Okay,
I think
so
we should base it on chainmail reduction, perhaps?
I was gonna. Another option is using this whole table and having that go by level. So something like, so for example, like spells like Spirit Steed or whatever it is, like you get like at level 5 it gains the ability to walk on sand or whatever. On a level 8 you can walk on water, and at level 12 you can fly. I think this would be like levels 1 through 3 you reduce by this, levels 4 through whatever. I guess if it's a 3rd level spell.
Right, so at a 5th level, the level that you get it to start it with, you can do
it does the leather padded table
2, 1, 3.
Yeah, at level 9 it does 2, 3, 6, and then at level 12
14.
It does 14.
Okay.
Sure,
12, 14.
How do you feel about that?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah,
I worry that it's too weak at straight up the bat at 5th level. It will reduce. It's not going to be very effective, right? It will reduce. It will reduce
2, 1, 3.
1d4 plus 2 attacks by 2, 1, 3.
Yeah. So I mean, reducing 3 damage per attack from slashing weapons is going to be pretty huge.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. It'll just be a little weak against piercing. And then when you hit level 7 or 9 or whenever it becomes against padded or chain, then it's going to be really good around the board. And by the time you hit whatever level does plate, it'll be super effective.
And I guess if it lasts 24 hours, that's fine. So I'm thinking of it in terms of equivalent HP. At level 5, you're going to average, let's say, 4 attacks at an average of 2 reduction in damage. So it's an average of 8 HP. Yeah, so it's probably somewhere between like 4.
That's a little bit better than a cure moderate wound
HP.
spell.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm comparing it to. Is like in terms of cure moderate, it's going to be a little more swingy in terms of like certain things will go through it. Sometimes you'll be against spears. Sometimes you'll roll low, and it will only reduce like you could only have 3 charges, and they could be all spears. And it only reduces 3 damage.
Right, or a creature could hit you for 1 damage with a slashing attack or something. Yeah. Okay, so at level 5, we do leather.
Mm-hmm. And I think it'd be cool to line up the table with levels where it's not increasing in duration. I don't know if cool, but just like from like a design standpoint, it's nice to like every level up you get a bonus. Sometimes it'll be duration. Sometimes so at level 5 it's the first one on the table. At level 6 it will
you get another round of duration.
At level 7 is maybe nothing. At level 8 it's another round of duration. Level 9 it goes up to the chain and padded.
Yep, I like it.
And then level 10 will be up again. Maybe 11 is nothing. 12 is duration. So maybe 13 is the plate. How do we think of that in terms of scaling? I don't think any of the scaling will actually matter, but if it's a spell that we're putting into
we should put the time and effort to get it right. Yeah. I like this thus far. I just want to see where clerics get their levels at 13. Okay, so clerics need to be 14th level to get level 7 spells. So that seems fine. Yeah. At 13 it does plate.
Yeah. Do you have this table, or do you want me to copy paste you what I'm looking at?
I've got it here. Yeah.
You got it here. Yeah.
4, 6, and 8. Okay. Bludgeoning and hacking, piercing, and slashing. Lovely. Okay. So I'm going to start writing some words for the spell.
Cool.
Let's see. What about components? Verbal, material, and somatic. We probably
Correct.
need all 3.
Yeah.
The duration is 1d4 plus level over 2 rounds. Area of effect is 1 creature.
The duration is special, right? The duration was number of charges, right? It was, and probably.
Oh, right.
And probably 24-hour expiration, right?
Right. Okay.
Area of effect is 1 creature.
Area of effect is 1 creature. Casting time is 5.
Sure, Stone Skin is 1, but cleric spells tend to be slower and whatever.
Yeah.
5 seems fine. Range is touch. Saving throw none.
None. No damage. What are the material components?
I was suggesting a sheet of like forged steel or something like that. Right?
Sure. How much steel do you need for this?
Stone Skin requires granite and diamond dust. Pounds. That's how. I mean, steel is kind of a rare commodity in your world. In another campaign, it might be. It might not be very, very forbidding, but whatever.
But it could be like 5 steel coins forged into a thin sheet.
Yeah. How much is a steel coin worth?
A steel coin is worth 25 copper. So we could say a gold. 4 steel coins would be 100 copper. Would be a 1 GP worth of steel. This seems like a little bit low, but then the workmanship put into it would probably bump up the price.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, if I recall Stone Skin, I think it's 100 GP worth of diamond dust, isn't it?
Yeah. So this could be maybe like
But yeah.
a 1/10 of a pound of steel, a hammer, like a specially hammered and hammered by a cleric of Seor, and blessed in its process.
Maybe it doesn't need to be a cleric. Doesn't need to be cleric of Seor, but a specific like 20. What did you say? 25 GP.
I was gonna say 1 GP, 21 GP.
Okay.
But then the workmanship that goes into it should increase the value of it significantly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you can just say like however much steel worked into a sheet and blessed or something like that. Because I don't know that it needs to be a cleric of Seor preparing it. I feel like another cleric could presumably cast the spell and like go to like a regular blacksmith to get the steel sheet and then bless it themselves or something like that.
Okay. Sheet of steel forged by it should be forged by someone of skill. I don't quite necessarily want to say a master smith. What's a way of saying a
say
skill?
Like an armor smith. Forged by an armor smith and blessed. Right, so not just your average blacksmith, but like an armor specialist.
Right.
Do we want to restrict it? Could it be like a dwarven armor smith? How much do you want to restrict it?
Ooh. Yeah, let's say by a dwarven armor smith.
Yeah.
And blessed by a cleric.
Yeah.
It'll be probably like 25 GP for a regular person to purchase such a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds about right. Holy symbol costs 25 GP. Yeah. Meanwhile, actually, I don't want to distract you. But
No, go ahead.
I was going to convert my AC while we're doing this. So Zweihard has bronze chain mail, which has AC of 5, right? AC 15.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Cool. So with a shield, or without a shield, it's 15. With a shield, he's got 17 AC. Unless we get some mithril.
And this will not block weapons from damage from magic weapons, right? Since it doesn't interact with magic.
I think it should block. Let's see.
The stone skin affected by magic weapons?
It is. It's just magical attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Even a sword of sharpness cannot affect a creature protected by stone skin. I think it's just any slashing, piercing, bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Or any, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I think even magic weapons would be reduced.
What about, so if
maybe make a special note that like magic damage always goes through or something like that.
That's what I was gonna say. Yep.
So like if you've got a +1 sword, it always deals a minimum of 1 damage. +5 sword will always deal a minimum of 5 damage.
Bludgeoning hacking is reduced to 2. Piercing is reduced by 1. Slashing is reduced by 2.
Mm-hmm.
At 9th level, the caster reduces damage accordingly. This will be 9th, and this will be 13th. We go 2, 3.
What? I've been hacked.
6. What?
I've got 0 stats. Have I been? Is that a random chance, or have I been added to the list of? Have I been blacklisted?
Oh my God! You must be added to the. I don't know how that works. I'm not the one who programmed that bot. NECA. What has happened?
I wonder how. That was probably instated weeks ago, and I'm just now back on stream.
Oh, wonderful. 24 hours till these charges are expended. A spell has a number of charges.
Charo says it's just like a 1% chance of happening.
I thought it was only for certain people, for certain mods. I don't know, maybe it's for everyone. I can't remember these things. So
am I the lucky one? Does that mean I get to be the at least it could be worse? No.
No, but that's a bad roll. Have you guys seen the it could be worse?
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's 1 in 100 for... Yeah, okay. I feel like I've seen you roll that.
I've definitely rolled it, but you're not a mod, so how the hell are you rolling it?
I'm extra special.
That means they specially coded it in there for you.
Mods plus Hobgoblin.
This shouldn't be possible. The bot doesn't even know what's going on. Okay, so we've got the subject of the spell is enchanted, giving their skin steel-like properties. Incoming physical damage is reduced by the casters, or is reduced based on the caster's level and damage type. Magic damage is ignored, so magic missiles still deal their full damage, and a magic weapon that deals damage will not have damage from the magic bonus reduced, which is awkwardly phrased, but technically correct. Then I've got the...
You could add a sentence right after that, like, for example, a +1 sword always deals at least 1 point of magic damage.
That's perfect. Excellent. At level 5, the caster reduces blah, blah, blah. At level 9, level 13. The spell will last for 24 hours or until its charges are expended. The spell has a number of charges equal to 1d4 plus caster level over 2. Components are a sheet of metal forged by a dwarven armor smith and blessed by a cleric, costing about 25 GP. Only 4 steel coins are needed for the materials. The rest of the costs are in the craftsmanship. Any other details?
I think that sounds good.
Abjuration?
Alteration? I don't know. Stone Skin's alteration. That's what I'm looking at. But,
yeah, but abjuration is the realm of protection, and it's always weirded me out that Stone Skin is... I could be convinced either way. I'm not too particular.
Abjuration seems fine.
Cool.
And I think it would be crafting. Is it crafting? Is that even a thing?
The sphere?
The sphere, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if it's actually crafting or if I'm just thinking that because...
There is a crafting sphere, I believe.
Or school... sphere. School of Abjuration, sphere of...
Sphere of influence by gods. We have Chaos Charm Combat, Creation, Divination, Elemental Guardian, Healing Law, Necromantic Numbers, Plant Protection, Summoning, Sun, Thought Time, Travelers, War Wards, and Weather.
So there is no crafting, right?
No, but there's combat, creation, and protection.
Yeah, I could see any of those. I feel like protection probably, right?
Yeah, and it might be in multiple spheres.
Yeah.
Some spells are in multiple spheres, I believe.
Protection is like protection from evil, sanctuary, resist heat cold, magical vestment, spell enchants caster's vestment, providing protection from at least the equivalent of chainmail. +1 for each levels. Yeah. Creation's all the like create water.
Yeah, creation is more of like making something out of nothing. So I don't think it should be creation, but it could be combat easily.
Mm-hmm.
And protection.
Combat seems to have a shortage of spells, although it's got a couple 3rd level.
Mm-hmm.
These are mostly like damage spells.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual Hammer, but it's also got like aid. Prayer.
And it's got Word of Recall. Yeah, aid is definitely a protection spell, so I think that's fine. Interestingly, that aid is not in the protection sphere.
Yeah.
I think it could be put in both, because lots of things are in 2 different spheres. Or things of influence. Okay, combat so I'll put it in combat and protection. And Sayor has access to neither of those.
Seriously?
Somehow Sayor has creation, but not combat or protection.
I feel like that's wrong.
That should be wrong.
What spheres does Sayor have?
Animal, astral, creation, divination.
Why does Sayor have animal?
Because you make things out of animal parts.
Okay. Okay.
Divination, elemental, numbers, plants, sun, travelers, wards. This is awkward.
What
does the sphere of wards do?
It's dumb. It's like, oh, I guess it's like AoE protections. It's got like anti-vermin barrier, weighty chest.
Okay. Zone of truth.
Yeah.
It's not travelers. It's definitely not sun, planet, number. Elemental earth.
Does Sayer have summoning?
He does not. Maybe this is an outdated sheet.
Yeah. I used summoning. I feel like I was using draw upon holy might call upon faith to buff my my crafting.
I remember you casting Dust Devil for certain.
That's elemental as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely cast Dust Devil. There was that whole elemental shenanigans, and I'm pretty sure. No creation. No, I can see not having combat.
Well, it could be an elemental earth spell.
Purify metals. The spell that I made is in creation.
Okay.
Which is the other spell that I made.
Right.
Do I have a list of my spheres? I do not.
So it does feel like a
Hellish Halberd, I think, is also in creation. And Zweihard's grips is
creation as well. This this definitely feels more like a protection or a combat spell, which is frustrating that you don't have access to that. How do we justify this? How do we?
We could make it a special say or exception. Like could make up a sphere of crafting, but
yeah, it could be a special say or spell. Well, maybe Bellum would also have access to it too.
I mean,
yeah. Bellum. What do Bellum and Sayor have in common? They both have divination, numbers, travelers, and that's it.
Why would Sayor not have creation? Is what I'm trying to wonder. Why do you?
Sayor has creation, but not combat.
Oh! I see. What you mean. Does Sayor have protection?
No, it doesn't. Animal, astral, creation, divination, elemental, numbers and plants, sun, travelers, and wards. Well, Sayor only has majors. Sayor doesn't have any minor spheres. So we could give Sayor a minor in one of these things without changing anything too much. Make him one of the better casters. We could also just remove wards. We could remove wards and give him protection.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I have been using, like, let's see.
Did you use Frisky Chest?
Weighty Chest. Yeah, I like Weighty Chest, my equipment. I don't know if it ever came in handy. Maybe with like a Cyclops it came in handy.
We could drop Travelers for Sayor.
Yeah, I don't know why Sayor would need Travelers.
Yeah, I don't know either.
probably use light and load, but that doesn't seem very Sayer-like, does it? It's not a very useful sphere, but
yeah. I don't think we should get rid of animal or plant or sun. Numbers seems like it should stay in Sayer. Definitely elemental. We could scrap divination.
Does Sayer not have healing? He's got like
Sayer does
healing,
not
like,
have healing. Like, no.
Does that mean I don't have Cure Light Wounds?
Probably.
I've been doing this without Cure Light Wounds. I must have. I don't have one memorized for sure. I have a weighty chest memorized. So not having healing is a big negative for a cleric.
Yeah.
Although elemental is pretty buff.
I say we scrap travelers and give you protection or combat. Which one?
Protection, I think, makes the most sense, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to scrap travelers and give you protection. I'm going to need to change this over here.
Although combat has spiritual hammer and aid. That's about it that I'm seeing that seems Sayer-like.
4 and turn 19. All right, let me get the correct stuffs. Sayor is deity number 97.
How many deities do you have?
Not that many,
97?
But no, the way that the table works is the back end works is all wonky and funky because I had a system for displaying spells and I keep tacking on new functionality and I have to like shoehorn it in an awkward way. So the gods are listed as players because we used to have players and spells and now it's all funky.
There are so many more winter gods than we thought.
Why are there no Sayer? You just not have Sayer here? How does this fucking work?
I'm looking at a Sayer spell sheet.
Yeah. All right, well, we inserted the new spell. So let me just put the new spell in the right area and then I'll adjust things. So this is Steel Skin spell 894. Woo! 894, and it is going to be a Sphere of Protection, which is sphere number 19. Okay.
Is it also combat, or we decide just one sphere?
I think we're. Ooh. We could put it in both. I'm comfortable with that. I'll leave that to your decision.
I don't know. I'm kind of biased. I'm like, put it in combat so more clerics get access to it.
What? How does... I gotta go look at some weird coding things. I'll take care of this as we go along. So what is our? So we created a new spell. Now what?
Yes. Forging more mithril. It sounds like I might have enough to make some armor for myself.
Ooh. Okay.
I also want to secure a supply of better equipment for the weapon hafts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get some appropriately epic wood to match the mithril.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And maybe there's some divining to be done, actually. Einhard did ask about the omens that I was seeing, and I said I'd follow up, and I never actually did. So there's a couple things there. I would like to maybe research and locate some epic wood. And maybe make some mithril armor, some more mithril halberds. So we got things to do. I was thinking to use plant growth to enhance my supply of, so like get a sample of some special tree and then magically grow it.
Ooh.
Let's see. The plant growth enables cast. Let's see. The first causes normal vegetation to grow, entwine, and entangle to form a thicket or jungle. Briars, brushes, creepers, lianas, roots, saplings. This is blah blah blah. Becomes so thick and overgrown as to form a barrier. So basically, get some like magic bamboo or something, and plant growth it so that I've got an extraordinary supply. Is there like an age plant or something like that?
There is, but it's a pretty high level spell, I think.
Why am I not seeing it in? Is it not in the sphere of plants, or do I only have minor access to plants?
No, you have major to everything.
Okay.
24 is turning into 19. All right, here we go. I finally figured out how it's done. If you refresh your spell list, it should now change slightly. And there should be steel skin in there. Yes. It is so.
Steel skin. Nice.
Excellent.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Excellent. All right, so we've got a spell. We've got a bunch of new mithril. You have the equivalent of 937 coins on you, which 937 divided by 50 is 18.74 pounds of mithril.
How much does it cost to make a mithril plate?
Mithril plate? Would you like to do a breastplate or the limbs?
Probably the breastplate, but maybe all of it.
That's gonna be 25 pounds times 0.28. It'll be 7 pounds for a breastplate. Woo! That's not much. Yeah. A full suit would take 16.8 pounds, and you have 18.74. You could make one suit of mithril plate.
I don't think Einhard or the Dwarven Kingdom would let me get away with that.
I mean, if you made it, you'd have to gift it to your brother or to like a high dwarven noble. If you took it for yourself, I think that that would be the equivalent of like declaring yourself a dwarven king in their culture.
Right.
You know.
Right. I could make 2 mithril breastplates, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's make some breastplates.
Okay. Breastplates. Takes 2 weeks per point of AC. It gives you 5 AC. No, I'm sorry. It'll take 6 weeks to make a breastplate. I have new rules written down.
Okay.
And are you an armor smith?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll have to. Okay, so we've got 2 crafting rules here. We've got the base rules where it's just a die roll and you succeed or fail, and then we've got the cool custom rules where the better you make it, there's qualities that change. One is fast and one is slow. So how do you want to go about it?
We're burning through some time, but I mean, you put all this time into making the systems, you might as well use them.
I agree.
Yeah. Armor smithing is a 10 plus 5 per level.
Okay. So the way that we do this, each suit of armor is broken up to 2 pieces, body and limbs. Each piece is broken up into a number of sub pieces. Body has 3 sub pieces. Limbs have 2. Each sub piece takes a proficiency check to make. Checks take 1 week of work, provided the worker has the proper tools. I think that was for his old thing. Since you are using plate, it's probably going to take twice as long, which is why it takes 6 weeks to make the breastplate instead of 3. Okay. So that's fine. Without proper tools, you got proper tools, we don't have to worry about that. Blah, blah, blah. Once the first suit, blah, blah, blah.
It seems like all this is going to do is require more time. What are the advantages to rolling really well? Is the higher quality just increase? It doesn't increase the AC, right? It just...
So the way that we did it for Ferris's armor smithing was that higher quality did provide higher AC, but I think that was
only for dragon scale, right?
Right.
I think for like just making hide armor.
Yeah, this is just for the dragon scale. Let's do the regular rolls then, and not worry about higher AC.
Basically need to succeed.
Yeah, let's just take a super quick look at the proficiency. Armor smithing. Armorer. Blah, blah, blah. If the proficiency check indicates failure but is within 4 of the amount needed for success, he's created a usable but flawed armor. Such armor functions as 1 AC worse than usual, although it looks as it was intended to be. Only a character with armor proficiency can detect the flaws, requires careful and detailed inspection. Otherwise, it's just a roll.
Okay, and I've got base skill of 10 plus 5 per level, so I basically just need to roll a 6 or higher or something.
Okay. And that'll take you 6 weeks to make the breastplate. And you'll have to have the person making the breastplate...
I do fail.
That's a fail. You'll have to have the person who you're making it for there. Yeah.
I think that's just 6 weeks burned.
Well, that is within 4 of success. So you have created workable but flawed armor that functions as 1 point of AC less. It looks nice, but you know that some of these plates are maybe a little bit too thin and some of the joints are a little bit weak.
It was practice.
Yeah.
But I think I will build a second instead of melting this down quite yet.
Okay.
And I have tasked Dunhilda with researching the finest wood for weapon hafts. Like, she should, consult our literature, our histories,
and
see what we can find.
Okay. Finest weapon hafts from materials that could be found in the area.
Maybe not. I mean, we could go on a quick quest to go find some. And so far, I've been using bogwood for my fancy axes. But,
Well, Dunhilda will tell you that the very best wood for one of these things would be from... What is the technical term for this thing? It would be some of the shaped wood that the elves have.
Shaped wood. I've been shaping wood. Right, that's what I've been doing. I've been using warped wood, remember, to like braid bogwood into specialty hafts.
Okay, so Dunhilda tells you this story. In the Elven lands, the Elven lands are divided into 3 realms. The realm of shaped wood, the realm of wild wood, and the outlands. The outlands are things beyond the Elven realm that they don't care about. The wildwood are the forests that they inhabit, and the realm of shaped wood are the trees that elves carefully manipulate over decades and centuries. The greatest elven trees, the trees at the heart of their shaped wood areas, which would be the equivalent of towns or cities, are cured. These are large trees, sequoias or redwoods, that have had an elder elf sort of merge with the tree, sort of giving up the end of their life to merge their soul with the spirit of the tree, creating a tree that is not quite tree, not quite elf, but somewhere in between. And these trees can grow or shrink and easily be shaped by other living elves. These are this would be the greatest wood that you could use, because it would be wood with a little bit of a soul inside of it. Wood that is already semi-magical in nature. But it's also not easy to get a hold of. The elves are not likely to give away bits of shaped wood from elven souls. But if you wanted to make something out of wood and you wanted the very finest wood, you would take a branch of shaped wood from the heart of the Elven Kingdom.
Well, I mean, this actually sounds similar to what I was thinking. I can just recreate that myself. Might not quite be the quality of an elf, but
right.
So there was the plant growth idea. Either I can go find some special tree and grow it and warp it and shape it into something better, or Zweihard can become a tree and have Dunhilda harvest him.
Oh my god, do you have the tree spell?
I have the tree spell.
Oh my
it's a
god.
plant spell. I'm a 5th level cleric. I think that's what we're gonna do. That sounds better than
that sounds. Who wants to go talk to some fucking elves?
Right, and yeah. And I don't think it'll quite be a tree, right? It's gonna be a dwarf tree. It'll be like a weird rooty shrub.
It'll be a bush. It's like a thorny blackberry bush with a big stalk at the middle of it.
Nice. All right, so we'll get to that in a second. Let's finish the breastplates.
Okay.
So that was one.
That was one attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the second attempt.
And I think this is all at the mithril mine. Is that correct? Like,
yes, I think this is
stationed there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's had Dunhilda's back at the Blacksteel Keep, and maybe she's sending him materials that he needs and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that's 2 decorative sheets of 2 decorative mithril breastplates.
Oh.
Accepting that this is the best of his abilities, Zweihard starts adorning one of the breastplates to make it look better. I think this will be Einhard's breastplate.
All right, and that was another 12 weeks?
6 weeks? It's
12
weeks
6
total.
and 6 is 12, yeah.
Yeah. Have there been any incidents at the mine, or are things chugging along?
I'm just trying to calculate the number of days and figure out how far we are so I can tell you what's happened. That will have been 140 days since we started. That's going to be 4.6 months. So if we left off in June, July, September, October. No, so not much has happened. The rate of mining has dramatically gone down once all of this like really easy to get stuff has been hauled off and smelted. And now like instead of getting this nice pure like a jutting vein of mithril, it's like breaking up into smaller veins, and it's taking a lot more time to pull it out. Instead of 15 pounds in 7 days, you're getting like a pound every week of mithril. So if we've taken,
so worth it. And then I've got my my smelting methods magical purification methods. So we can get mithril from mithril-containing rocks and stuff. I want a better breastplate, and I want more halberds too. I guess I can just kill time to make those halberds, right?
Yeah.
Can we finish the full contingent? Actually, let's make hafts for it. Let's go ahead and do the tree thing. And I think for this, maybe we want to go back to Black Steel Keep.
Sure. How much weight did I say the breastplate was? 6 pounds?
It was 6 point something. You didn't tell me exactly how much.
Oh, okay. 25 times 0.28 is the number here. 25 times 0.28 is 7 pounds? Did I do my math wrong before? Hold on. Am I looking at the right table? Should be 7 pounds.
Okay.
Per.
Okay. Oh, that's exact. It's convenient. All right. So most of the first round of mithril goes into these 2 breastplates, and that leaves 1 pound remaining from the initial mining. Although it sounds like they're getting a little more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So after all the halberds and all the breastplates and the ore that gets mined during that time, you are down to, well, you're actually still at 16.74 pounds.
Where did that come from?
Because it took you 12 weeks to make these breastplates, and in that time, your people were still getting it out.
Did I make all the halberds or just the 4 halberds?
We've got 4 halberds and 2 bad breastplates.
Okay.
Flawed breastplates right now.
Okay. And then 12 more pounds of mithril? Should I just stop keeping track of mithril and let
I'm tracking it over here.
Okay. So I'll stop keeping track of the mining operation.
Yeah. I will. When we leave the mine, I'll give you the results of what you have.
I feel like the tree stuff should be done in a holy place.
It would definitely need to be done in some level of sacred place. Where is that for you? Where is a sacred site that you could become a tree?
I was thinking
Nielsen would be so proud.
I was thinking Black Steel Keep in like the church or something, but maybe something better needs to happen. But it should be near safety because I'm assuming this will cost me HP.
Yeah.
So I think we should go back to the temple in Black Steel Keep.
Okay.
It seems like everything's going fine at the mine, so I'm going to leave Ziggy in charge and tell him to come and get me immediately if anything goes awry.
Excellent.
I will actually ostensibly be heading back to Black Steel Keep to bring a breastplate to Zweihard or to Einhard.
Okay.
I would like to adorn the mithril breast. I mean, obviously, you don't build a mithril breastplate without making it exquisite, right? I think I will work in the dragon scales into the breastplate.
Ooh, yeah. You have a few dragon scales?
I have just a few dragon scales from the brass dragon.
Okay.
So I think they'll probably be like dragon scales over the shoulders. And I don't know if there are places where there were imperfections visible. I don't know if I cover those up with dragon scales strategically and artistically.
Okay. Do you want to? Is it important to specify where those are?
I don't think so.
Yeah. But it's gonna be.
I think it's more like if there's a weak spot in the armor, I put a dragon scale over it to cover up my imperfection.
Okay. These are brass dragon scales?
Strictly ornamental. Whatever dragon lived in the hourglass.
Oh, God. I was asking you, hoping you knew the answer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a brass dragon or
okay.
Bronze. But
I can never remember if it's brass or bronze. It is brass.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Does a mithril shield provide any benefits over a regular shield?
Super light.
Okay.
Yeah. There might be some, maybe, I don't know. It's hard because +1 is like a 5% chance, you know? So it would, if you get if your mithril shield is a little bit better and both of your mithril sections are a little bit better, it would quickly add up to a whole bunch of added AC, which is maybe not wrong. Maybe that's the way you go. Maybe someone in mithril plate with a mithril shield has like 25 AC off the bat. And that's not necessarily...
I think it'd be 23, right? Oh, 22, right? Plate is AC 19, right?
Yeah. And then so mithril would be 20, and then the shield would give 3 with a proficiency, and 1 more would be 4. You'd end up with 24 AC.
Okay. That's pretty good. All right.
Okay. Why don't we take a short break? And
so much to do.
I know there's so much to do, but we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll do a little bit more dicing with death, forging, and fun stuff. So see you guys on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.